From Iowa, Mr. Feenstra, for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Yarmouth and Ranking Member Smith. Secretary Becerra, thank you for being here. I appreciate your comments. I'm looking at this and thinking what twisted webs we weave. The FY22 Omnibus Bill just passed with Democrats in control of the House and the Senate and the White House. Every chamber passed the current budget. President signed it into law. And the Hyde Amendment, which bans federal funding of abortion, was in it. And yet, can you confirm that to include the Hyde Amendment for FY22 funding bill, your budget does not? I'm wondering why that is.
It is not, because the president has made it very clear that he wants to make sure that we are providing, under the law, all of the services that Americans should be entitled to.
But he signed the bill. The Democrats approved the bill. I'm missing something here. I mean, you have Democrats control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. He signed it, and yet now he's not doing that? I'm missing this.
What he signed was the current fiscal year budget.
So it was good then, but not now. Is that what you're saying?
Are you suggesting that we shut down government?
No, I'm just simply suggesting I want to know why is this happening? I mean,
If he didn't sign it, we would have had to shut down government. And so are you suggesting?
no, he is. I'm saying he has signed. He signed a bill that the Hyde Amendment was in it, and now you're saying we don't want it anymore.
Are you saying he had a choice? Could he have extracted the Hyde Amendment?
I'm saying that everybody agreed to it, so you'd assume.
I don't think everyone agreed to it, but certainly it had to be included in order to get that omnibus to the president's desk. I mean, Congressman, I don't know how long you've been around.
I'd like to clarify one other point here. Thank you. Last week, the OMB Director Young testified to the committee that the budget assumes that even given insolvency, that Medicare spending would continue at its current rates. I also asked the director to clarify how, according to page 5 of the Department of Treasury's Green Book, the budget can work when it assumes that Congress passed Build Back Better last year. It assumed that, which we didn't, right? But it's the book is assuming that. Those two assumptions make absolutely no sense to me. Assuming Build Back Better was passed, it also assumes that Medicare will go bankrupt, insolvent earlier. On the reverse, expanding Medicare under the assumed Build Back Better law, which they say is in here, would drastically change Medicare spending. So Medicare spending accounts for 15% of all our spending, and it's going up dramatically. So my question is, Mr. Secretary, why doesn't the budget address this? Medicare is on track to be insolvent by 2026.
Congressman, if you read the budget, you'll see that the president's budget request does provide further support to strengthen Medicare.
Oh, yeah, I agree. But it also, in the same budget, creates Build Back Better. So then it dramatically expands Medicare.
More services to seniors is a pretty good thing. And
I'm not arguing that. I'm simply saying, based on the budget, that you're dramatically expanding Medicare under the Build Back Better, which is in the budget. It's assuming on page 5. And yet, I just heard you talk to Congressman Smucker, and you're saying, you know what, we'll be okay. That's not what the budget says.
If you read the budget, you
read it very
realize
closely.
that it reduces the deficits in the long term. It actually provides for a very fiscally responsible way.
Not the unfunded liability of Medicare.
Congressman, there are provisions in the president's budget that extend the fiscal strength of Medicare. There are provisions in there that would provide for further program integrity. And as I mentioned earlier, I believe this administration is prepared to speak to anybody who wants to talk about strengthening Medicare by cutting costs, not by cutting benefits.
Right. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. But I don't need any more comments, but I just want to say this. When you add Build Back Better and all that you're doing for Medicare, all the extra pieces, Medicare is going to go insolvent a lot faster. It will. And you don't have to.
You're saying we should not improve Medicare for seniors.
I'm simply saying to you is your budget does one thing. It's sort of a shell game, right? It's a shell game saying,
No.
Hey, we're going to do this dangling thing over here, but don't look over here. What's going to happen in 10 years?
No, the president's budget reduces the deficit. It does so because it's fiscally responsible. At the same time, the president clearly wants to make sure we improve Medicare services and benefits.
Short term, it does, but I'm looking 10 years out, and that's what the budget does. And thank you. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Now recognize the gentlewoman from California, Ms. Lee, for 5 minutes.